Hey guys, hope everyone's doing great today. So today the S&P finished up pretty much a percentage point, 0.95. We're just below, closed below 3,800 about. And then if we look at the heat map here, you can see somewhat of big cap tech did a little bit pretty good here. Nvidia semiconductors were all down today, somewhat. So can see the defensives were up. Energy was down a lot as well, as you can see, healthcare up. And then financials were a little bit of a mixed bag, I guess you can say, but relatively down. Not liking the recession talk, obviously, but anyways, you can see Google here, and then I just kind of wanted to show everybody big cap tech today. So Facebook was up, Amazon was up a lot, Apple up 2%, sitting at 138, Netflix up. Honestly, I really don't I don't know what to think about Netflix. Ever since, obviously they had the subscriber count scare, and in my mind, I don't know how much they can really, like, because everybody seems to be focused on the subscriber count, and I don't, and then we're obviously raising prices and stuff. I don't know how much they can really grow, the subscriber count, and especially, since we're in this streaming wars, and personally, I like Disney Plus better, but but there's obviously just the streaming wars going on, and I still have Netflix, but the rising prices and all that stuff, it's interesting. They do have that Squid Game, stuff coming out, and they always have, something interesting going on and whatnot, but yeah. Then if we look at the S&P TSX, it was down 1.5 compared to, you can see, oops, the S&P in the US was up 1% and we were down 1.5. It's continuing this recent, it's weird to me. I'm up in Canada here, so that's why I'm showing this, but it's a weird trend because before in Q4 and 2021, Q1 2022, we always kind of outperformed the US. But now it's been like the opposite. Like even like the sector specifically, especially energy, greatly it's been underperforming a lot compared to the S&P. It's I don't know, it's very weird to see for some reason. I'm not sure, why, but if you look at the volume, it's like way off the average. I've been looking, it's been like that recently, and I just can't, it's so odd. I just haven't really can't figure out what's going on. But for some reason recently, ever since we've been, I guess, underperforming, the volume has just been very, very low for some reason. It's interesting to see. Nasdaq is up 1.6. You can kind of see its daily chart here. You had a big rally towards the end of the day. It's always, volatile. Look at the past month here. Then ARK was up 7%. Big rally along with Nasdaq towards the end of the day. Obviously, they're both highly, somewhat correlated. Still down 57% year to date. I wouldn't touch ARK. That's just me. It's always very, very volatile. It's interesting. I always wonder, like, on the big up days, who's buying that? And like the Rivians of the world, the Ubers, DoorDash, all the kind of money losers, they have those very, very, very volatile days. I always wonder who's buying them, on the big up days. I always wonder that. But anyways, you can see the Dow here. We are up 0.6 on the day. You can see a little chart here. And then I'm just going to talk about commodities today, actually. So it's been interesting. Wheat was down today. I noticed a little bit. Wheat was down. It's still up 36% year to date. This is just kind of an ETF for the price of wheat. Gives you there's all sorts of whatnot, but this is just the general price of wheat. See, the past 5 days it's down sharply. Month, well, you can see just ever since then, and then yeah, gives you an interesting little look at the price of wheat. Obviously, it's definitely correlated with inflation. Obviously, wheat is a very important thing, so then you have soybeans down for today, just looking at commodities again here, you can see it's pretty steep drop off there. Let's look. Yeah, look at that. Quite an uptrend, and then just all of a sudden, boom. And then speaking of not only, food, and then we have oil today as well. You can see WTI down 2 and Brent pretty much down 2 as well. WTI sitting at 104 right now, and nat gas is down 9%. Nat gas has been down a lot. Same with oil, but I think nat gas has been down a lot more. But you can see there's been a really interesting, just this big, huge drop in commodity prices all of a sudden. I think I'm not sure what to think of it. I don't think it's permanent at all. I think we're just gonna go right back up. We're just kind of pulling back here, but it's very interesting to see, all the commodities seemingly are pulling back, and everybody was talking about peak inflation about a month ago, and then obviously the CPI print just blew everybody out of the water somewhat, and we haven't really talked about peak inflation, but you see all these commodity prices like I just pointed out, and you see like gasoline down 2% today even. So very interesting to see. I think it's I'm not sure what to call it, but I think we're just pulling back, and I really think that we're gonna pull, like, just go right back up, maybe higher than ever. I think, well, obviously it's very highly dependent on the Ukraine war for food especially, but as well as oil, and then the other factor is Saudi Arabia, because as I've said, the US and North America, Canada we cannot increase supply. It's really all about demand. I think as long as we can have just a moderate demand, right now we have strong demand, I would say we're good to go, because there's just, well, for energy people, if you own energy stocks. But I've talked about it before. I have a video about it, talking about it there. If you want to go look at it on the channel, it explains a lot of why I'm super bullish on energy, and then as well as somewhat the price of oil. I obviously just focus on the energy companies, not so much the price. But even at like $100 a barrel, 90 or 80, those oil companies are very profitable, and they're really making a lot of money. And I talk about it in my video if you want to go have a look at it. But anyways, look at the XLE today. Says this is after hours. I was wondering why it was up, but it was down a lot today. So as you can see, that's just after hours. And then I'll talk about the OBE here. It's up in Alberta, but it's also listed on the US. That's what I was going to say, the TSX, but it's NYSE listed. So it was down a lot today, which is I don't really understand why or what is going on. Look at the volume was way up, but it's just very, I don't understand what's going on. If you look at, like, this is just absolutely bananas to me. If you look at this, it's just like the charts kind of explain everything in a way. It's been this wild ride. Go back here. We were up, like, I think like a week or two ago, we did like 20% in 5 days, and now all of a sudden, like, yeah, you can see here. And then we had this huge run up, and now all of a sudden we're just way down here. It's been, and then if you look 1 year chart here, it's very interesting chart. In my mind, it's a huge buying opportunity. It really is, in my opinion. Like, I'm surprised. I don't know what's going on, but it's been like, there's been these just crazy days. We used to go up like 8%, and I was talking about a week or something ago, but now we're going down like this. And I think we're pricing in my mind, it's just crazy, but I think we're pricing in a recession. Like, obviously the price of oil has always been pricing in a recession. That's why we've stated about 100 to 125. That's why I really think that's why we've stayed in that range, because we have a fundamental, huge, just a big supply problem, and it's not going to be fixed for like a year, maybe even longer than that. So that's why it's really just like economics 101 in a way, and that's why I'm just like a huge bull on energy. Look at Crescent again here, another company that's also NASDAQ listed, but it's up in Canada, is down 12%. Same, but look at the PEs and look at it'll be the same thing as Obsidian, except look at it's even sharper. It's like a little tiny, yeah, crazy. It's like you'd think something fundamentally changed, but nothing has changed like at all. It's crazy. I don't know, what's going on exactly. It's very interesting, but I definitely did some buying at the energy for sure today. I don't know what if you look at Oxy, it's up today because Warren Buffett actually bought some apparently, which is very interesting to me. That shows he has not sold. I'm not actually I don't want to say that, but I'm not sure if he's sold any of his Occidental yet. He may have. Don't quote me on that at all, but I haven't. I can't never hearing about it. But he bought recently. I'm not sure if that was just recently or what, because I know that I think it's at the end every 3 months they reveal all of their trades and stuff. So, anyways, I think that's very interesting, because it shows that. Well, I think Warren Buffett's obviously notorious for well, not notorious, but he's a very long-term investor, and if he's buying, I think he has like 17% now of Occidental, and well, obviously it shows that he believes in price of oil long term and well as energy in general. So that was nice to see today, but obviously you can see everything else. Just Valero down 8. But you can see it's interesting though, the US ones, and then you can kind of see well up in Canada. It's NYSE listed, but it's up in Canada. It's also TSX listed. It's very interesting how it's that Canada is suddenly underperforming the US. I know historically it's always been the opposite, but it's very interesting to see. So anyways, hope everyone has a great day and hope you enjoy it.